Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́, subscribe, hete.
Face TV was Swoby.
I am a teacher of theatre arts. I want to tell you that definitely today, as from Monday, my teaching methodology will be enhanced with this my own is just a little comment and a request. I try to excuse myself on a set, about 2020 actually, immediately after COVID-19. When I got to the set, I was told that it will be 70-30. I said, what is 70-30? They said English will be 30, Yoruba will be 70. I said, when did we start to do 70-30 film in Nigeria? If it is Yoruba, it's Yoruba. If it is English, it's English. And they said, no. Now they want to meet the standard. And so the producer and the director insisted that I must speak English. So I, diplomatically excused myself and I left the set. It took some time before the producer started giving me job again. Please, I will request that you advise us now. And I want to find out, because I know that you are an international person. Is meeting the standard, is it the same thing with the valuing your value? If they are not the same thing, how can we now put it together, meeting the standard without disvaluing our value? That's the request. Thank you very much.
Okay, now most of the time, I think there's a big problem in Nigeria. I specifically say Nigeria, about appreciating the value of language. We have gotten so used to speaking the colonial masters' language that we make an excuse of wanting to speak our language. So now, a lot of people will say to you, because they were probably trying to meet, when they say international, maybe they were trying to meet the Oscar base of 70% language film and then 30% English. But that shouldn't have affected you. Anybody else could have spoken 30% English. But it is not a standard. Tutsi was totally in the South African language. There was no English in it. It's just the subtitling. Do you understand? So you don't have to devalue yourself. You just have to be able to explain that this is what you're comfortable with, and get your manager to look at your contract and tell them this is the minimum standard that you want to do. A lot of people are afraid to tell the so-called big producers what they want. Please don't. They're only human beings like you and I. We all have to respect our language. I have an absolute high level of respect for the Yoruba filmmakers. One reason mainly, you've kept your language, and young people in London, in America, learn because of the films you people make. So you go into a normal Yoruba home in the US and in the UK, and they speak their language. They understand their culture. Unfortunately, the Igbos tend not to speak their language in their films. They do epics and they do it in English. Doesn't make any sense because they're losing the language. That is the truth. So please, don't apologize for keeping your culture and your language. Don't apologize for your food. Be proud of it. I actually envy the fact that you guys are able to keep your culture and your language going and integrate it into everyday life in normal society. That the average person I meet, I have an auntie, her soul rest in peace, Chief Mrs. Orija. She was from Ijebu. Her daughter was my very good friend. But when mommy is coming to London to visit us, when she calls on the phone to ask us what she should bring, she will never speak English to me. She's going to speak Yoruba to me. I used to say, Mommy, I don't speak Yoruba. She said, you will understand though. What do you want? I know you wanted me. I started learning. And it's funny, I understand Yoruba. I don't speak it when I can understand. When most people, anybody speaking here, I'll understand what you're saying. But that was because my auntie refused to speak English when she came to London. It's the same thing my father did, rest his soul. My father would call from Nigeria, and I'm in school in London, and he would be speaking Igbo from hello to this thing. Summer was also, let me tell you how lovely my mother is. That woman, I'll leave you with her story. I got him to do film. She said no. She came to London and grabbed me and put me back in law school. It was after I finished law that I was able to go back to film. But for me to learn my language, from boarding school in England during the summer, I used to have to leave London very proper and go to where my grandmother is inside Emekuku in Imo State, not the town, the village. And I would spend my 3-month summer holiday with my grandmother, learning how to fry gari, learning how to go to the farm, learning how to get the maize going. But it was because for her, language was very important. So please, hold on to what you guys have. Don't let anybody make you feel inferior because you're doing something that the world needs. Thank you very much.
I mean, it's okay. First and foremost, I want to thank you for speaking the mind of my brother Balogun. He has been trying to tell people everything you have said about Ufa. So when you are talking, he was busy recording because you are speaking his mind. On African Magic Man, there is African Magic Showcase, African Magic Command, African Magic Family. When I watch African Magic Epic, I see films that most Yoruba filmmakers will never be proud of producing or directing. But now we have African Magic Yoruba alone. Like the typical Nigerian will always talk, will never take a step. Now we are trying to find a way to have we are trying to find a way to have another channel like a premium channel. Because you have English films on African Magic Epic, but there are bigger ones of showcase that if we have a very big film, we can put them. We are thinking if we have that kind of channel for Yoruba too, we can have a place whereby somebody can put a bigger film that is Yoruba, like a premium film. Can you advise us what steps can we take to achieve that? Because that will be very, very important for most of us in the industry. Thank you.
I think the first thing I'm going to say to you is that there's nothing stopping a good Yoruba film from being on African Magic Urban or being on African Magic Showcase. Just make sure that the quality is high enough and the subtitling is very good. And it's all down to negotiation. And I know that I will talk to your executives and they'll start to engage African Magic on what is necessary. Yoruba is not a second-class citizen. It's a national language. Do you understand? So that is where you have to come from. They actually put premium content of South African languages on their major channels. So there's no excuse for depriving your quality products. They always only say that our standards don't meet. So let's raise the standards and then we can negotiate. But I will work with your executives and start engaging on those platforms for you.
Please subscribe to Face TV Africa and turn the notification on. Face TV Africa, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ subscribe, hete.
Face TV was Swoby.